Hey everybody, this is Devin Townsend, and you are watching Brutalitopia, and this is my exclusive interview for Such a Thing.
Alright, Jack Attack here at Brutalitopia.
Along with Vicious Mick.
And we are here, of course,
Hi, it's Dev.
with Debbie. Debbie.
Yeah.
He's here in the house. This is our very first video interview
very first
for the blog.
in-person.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you,
very
and
much.
it's you. It's you too, so we couldn't be any better for
Start any
us.
bigger.
You kind of caught me on one of my least cordial days on the phone.
Yeah, you guys ran into a little bit of a roadblock here today.
The sweet scent of love was in the air, and there was a wedding in here that lasted basically till half an hour before we were supposed to have the doors open. So we were scrambling to do 7 things at once. So,
Which is what happens in the
You gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get the obvious question out of the way. The tour going well?
yeah, absolutely.
Good.
You know, it's like this is a good opportunity for me to kind of sell what I'm doing to people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's the first headlining run I've done
Right.
in North America, and just having the opportunity to kind of present this to people and see how it's going to go over has been really good.
And as you said, this is your first headlining tour, and you've been, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like over 2 decades in the music industry now.
This is true.
And this is the first one of yours.
For the solo stuff.
Yeah, for the solo stuff, besides strapping. How is that like a rewarding, like what's your first reaction when you realize this is your first solo tour that you headline? Is it a rewarding sort of thing?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, on some level, I mean, I've been doing it for so long that it's rewarding, but I guess also inevitable. You know, I think folks who have been doing this for as long as I have just kind of get to the point where if you're not headlining by this point, then you're going to have some serious questions about your directions in life.
Sure.
How long has it been since your last headlining tour exactly?
Well, I guess strapping would have been the last
Okay.
one, but I mean, in North America, I've never done it with this band. But I mean, we played this summer. We did the festivals, and we did Australia, and we did a bunch of stuff that was headlining this year. But before that, prior to that, I took 4 years off, and there was strapping before that. So I think that would probably.
Because I remember the last tour that really heard of, at least in North America, there was the one in the winter with BT Bam and Steeler Summit and those.
Which
Yeah.
Cynic as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was down at the House of Blues. So correct. This is your. That was the last time you were in Chicago.
That's
I believe,
right, yeah, it is.
So it's been a little while for you.
Yeah.
How was I know you did a bit of a circuit in Europe this summer, and you finally got to perform Ziltoid
That's
in its
right.
entirety at
Yeah.
Tuska opening.
Yeah.
I've watched the videos, a lot of people have, and it seemed like a lot of fun. It was, and you had it, all the media and everything, so you had it. You did it the way you wanted to do it. It looked like.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it was like the Tesco thing was good because it gave me an opportunity to present that, right? And that's something I've been working on for years, right? And I think that with what I'm hoping to do now, I'm trying to take this vision and just elaborate on it with like a bunch of different records that I'm working on now, and then present it. This is almost an advertisement for what I hope to do in the future, right? So.
Sure.
Well, now explain. You're working on new material right now. We were discussing earlier, correct?
Yeah. I just finished the album Ghost, which is the 4th record of the Quadrilogy. Well, excuse me.
Perfectly timed there.
Yeah, we had planned that from the beginning. Right on cue.
There you go.
And then Deconstruction I started in 3 days, and I think the juxtaposition between those 2 records is going to be pretty extreme.
Right. Well, and you said that the project, the Devin Townsend project, is you tapping into what you find to be your 4 sides of your musical personality, right?
Well, I mean, 4 of a few, I think.
Right. 4 of the current
ones.
ones. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So Key was the first, and that was more of an ambient sort of. I think the way you described it was tense, and that's I think a great way. And then obviously Addicted is more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So Deconstruction, correct me if I'm wrong, is the heavy one.
Yeah, it's really I think I'm gonna distribute it with a bottle of Tylenol because it's a headache inducing like shit show, right? And then the last record is pretty much the opposite of that, right? I think I'll have to issue that with a pack of coffee because it'll put most folks to sleep, right? But
right.
Again, it's like I don't really go too far into thinking about where I'm at musically. I tend to just kind of follow.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
How do you, in terms of since you're more or less like a progressive metal, like how does it, like when you have concept elements, like say Ziltoid or something like that, what exactly, how does like that concept creating process work for you? Like what?
Oh, dude, I'm just a total nerd, man. Like
It
seriously.
just comes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like, I mean, if you went deep enough into it, like, you know, I had a baby and I quit doing drugs and like a bunch of things, and I think all that ended up, Ziltoid became like a metaphoric representation of all that sort of thing. I mean, if you went deep enough,
Right.
you know, you could probably
Sure.
find some sort of crap with that. But I think on the surface, I'm just like a total nerd. I like puppets and like sci-fi and metal, right? And I
Puppets
thought,
with former dreadlocks
yeah,
heroes.
totally. I think that again, on some level, if you have, if you've got the option to like exercise some of those creative
Right,
avenues,
right.
I mean, you'd just be, you know, doing the other nerds in the world a disservice if you don't, right? So,
Precisely.
yeah.
Yeah. On that same note, there's been hubbub about on the space theme Z2.
Get that out of the way.
There's been
Oh, yeah.
rumors about Z2.
Yeah.
Do you? I know that you just got done with one album. You got another one coming up. Do you know any definitive plans as far as recording it? Or?
Yeah, I mean, Z squared, as we so delightfully call it in Canada. You know, man, uber nerd. At the end of Strapping a Lance Alien, I got all fascinated by this math equation, you know, Fermat's last theorem. It was like I saw something on Nova about it, and it was like x squared plus y squared equals z squared. It's the last song on Alien has got that math equation in
That's
Morse.
right. That's right.
But it's in Morse code, right? Like, and so Z squared is actually Ziltoid 2, right? But it's, you know, the answer to that. And it's like, basically,
Sure.
it's, you know, in some weird way, Ziltoid goes on this, you know, he's arrogant enough to assume that he can understand the ways of, you know, the mind of God. And then he gets condemned to a two-dimensional, like, comic book, and in that he, like, creates himself a harem. And, like,
That is fucking brilliant.
you know, he's got exploding elephants, and he like really tries to exercise that sort of like sense of excess, and then in doing so, he realizes it leaves him strangely empty. So, Ziltoid,
Of course.
yeah,
Naturally.
of course, right? Yeah, as you expect, right? So Ziltoid decides to start meditating, right, and then he realizes somewhere along the line that everything is Ziltoid, and so Z squared.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
they're right.
course.
Right? It is, right? And then, you know, so Z squared is going to be this like really nerdy musical.
Well, I mean, that's what. And you've said that you want to turn it into like a one-off stage show or something.
I don't want one off, man. I want to.
You want the whole,
Oh, yeah, dude.
the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
I want to do it.
Yes.
You know, I want to. We're going to create like an artificial atmosphere specifically for the show. You guys are all invited.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take our names down.
And like fun drinks and everything.
That's
Not
nice.
Good time
alcoholic
for all.
Shirley Temples.
Of course.